Eyewitness News.
I'm Sade Better-in-Law. We continue to follow breaking news. Moments ago, we learned one of the officers shot tonight in Queens has died. We still don't have an update on the other condition of the other officer that was shot. Another suspect was also shot. Our Jim Dolan is live at the scene of Richmond Hill with the latest. Jim?
Sade, this was a shootout right out here on the streets. Let's go back here. This is where all this started, at that T-Mobile store, a robbery in progress. Police trying to break up that robbery that was in progress. It was an armed robbery. They knew that when they got here. Residents, witnesses here, heard 10, 11, 12 shots ring out after they heard some screaming. Again, one of the two officers who was shot is dead. We are police investigating this case now, trying to figure out all the details. For now, reporting live from Richmond Hill, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Jim, thank you. And we're going to have the latest tonight at 11, and we'll be continuing with the special report at ABC-7 NY.
Stand back for what?
And we continue to follow breaking news here at ABC-7 NY. Moments ago, we learned one of the officers shot tonight in Queens has died. We still don't have any update on the condition of the other officer that was gunned down. Another suspect was also shot. Our Jim Dolan has been live at the scene in Richmond Hill. Jim, what's the latest?
Sade, this all started a little after 6 o'clock. Let's go back to the scene right now. This all started at a T-Mobile store. There was a robbery there, an armed robbery. Police were here. They tried to arrest the suspect, and then residents here, witnesses here, heard shots ring out. Not just a few. First they heard screaming, and then they heard 10, 11, 12 shots ring out. 2 police officers were hit. One suspect was arrested. It is not clear if he was struck as well, but one person is in custody. A 19-year veteran of the police department was shot and killed during this shootout with the suspect this evening. Again, this all started a little after 6 o'clock tonight. Police rushed to the scene here. Ambulances rushed to the scene. We know one police officer was taken to Jamaica Hospital by police officers, but ambulances rushed to the scene to take the other officer in. That is the officer who police say died in this robbery, a 19-year veteran of the force. Neighbors say, witnesses here say that this store had been robbed before, had been the victim of a robbery before. We've heard that. Again, all this happened right after 6 o'clock. It was dark by then, and there was a lot of rain, so there weren't a lot of people on the streets, but even people inside their homes. We spoke with one person who was inside a bar, heard these shots ring out, and then, of course, heard the commotion from police afterwards. Again, one police officer, a 19-year veteran of the NYPD, is dead tonight after a shootout here in Richmond Hill. Reporting live, Jim Dolan, Channel 7. Eyewitness News.
And Jim, I'm looking at some of that video that's coming in from earlier, and we can see that there's a huge police presence even still behind you. Clearly, this is an active investigation, but I remember during your last hit, you were talking about that bar nearby. I'm sure that there are so many other people who have been out there who heard these gunshots, and they were explosive.
Yeah, it was so loud, and it went on for quite some time. Show them the bar over there, Dave, please. This is a Lenahan's bar. That's where there were people inside that bar. The woman we spoke with, she was in the back when it started. She didn't hear this right away, but the people who were the customers who were there, they heard it and heard it loud, so much so that they locked the door so that they could stay safe inside that bar. Police, they waited until police came to tell them they were safe, and then police closed down the bar as part of this investigation. It's a large crime scene, a lot of police here right now.
Okay, Jim, thank you so much. We're going to check back in with you a little bit later and certainly have an update with you on Eyewitness News at 11. Right now, we want to go to Josh Einiger. Josh Einiger is at Jamaica Hospital, where the veteran 19-year detective who was shot and killed this evening, he was there at the hospital along with the other sergeant who was also shot. I'm sure this is a tough night for officers there. Josh, I can see them lined up behind you.
Yeah, Sade, this is a scene that sadly we have to encounter with some regularity, and the police officers, of course, are very familiar with this scene. It's really a gut-wrenching scene. It's a silent group of officers, hundreds of officers who've gathered here on the backside of Jamaica Hospital. I'm going to step out of the way, and Todd Pierce, photographer Todd Pierce, is just going to zoom in and show you this picture right now. Officers from all over the city, from all 5 boroughs, they run here. This is sort of just an awful ritual that we see when something this horrible takes place. Cops from here in Queens, from the command that was involved in this, the 102 precinct, and from, in fact, all over the city. And if we can pan to the left a little bit, Todd, I know there's a camera in the way, but in the ambulance bay of Jamaica Hospital are 2 NYPD ESU ambulances. Those ambulances are paid for by the Police Relief Fund, and those are the ambulances that respond, and it is those vehicles that take sort of the ceremonial lead when it is time to move the remains of an NYPD officer who has been killed in the line of duty. There are 2 of them lined up here. We know of course, only one officer, detective, who passed away tonight here at Jamaica Hospital. I did see a little while ago, and in fact, there's a police car, an unmarked police car just next to that ambulance a little while ago. That car raced in here really fast, and some people got out who appeared potentially to be family members of one of these officers. Of course, there's a second here being treated right now, whose injuries we have been told are not life-threatening. And we are waiting. We've been told by the NYPD's public information arm that we should be expecting a briefing formally from the police department here at the hospital in about an hour to an hour and a half. Again, these things take on kind of there's almost a routine to how these work. They have to wait for family members to be notified. They have to wait to get all their facts together on what happened so they could really present to the public just a complete picture of what happened, and also, more importantly, quite frankly, a picture of the officer who has given the ultimate sacrifice. They want to do it right. They have to do it right, and they always do it right. And so the work doing that, the work to do that takes some time. So we are expecting, we've been told, about an hour and a half from now, maybe it'll be closer to 2 hours, when we will hear from the mayor the police commissioner, the police surgeon, about what has happened and about the selfless officers who risk their lives day in and day out, more than 30,000 strong, who have suffered tonight just an unthinkable loss. That is the picture right now here at the back, the emergency room, trauma center entrance to Jamaica Hospital right now. Just a raw, freezing cold, rainy, wet, miserable night when the police department right now is dealing with this unfathomable loss. Sade.
Okay, Josh, thank you. And of course, we're going to try to follow that press briefing that's going to be happening in an hour and a half, as we heard from Josh. Again, a veteran NYPD cop killed in the line of duty. Another officer also shot, a sergeant, as well as a suspect. We're going to continue to follow this story and bring you any new developments. You can always go across all of our social media platforms for the latest. And of course, we're going to have more on Eyewitness News tonight at 11.